Hi y'all. I wanted to show you the difference between, sorry, I just woke up a little recently, but it's kind of the afternoon now, I guess. But I just wanted to show you that I couldn't sleep until later, but when I did sleep, I slept really well, so that's good. But I want to show you the difference between the Stalker's chrome and my chrome. He's taken my coating for himself. It's really weird, so watch. Okay, so with apologies to Wheezy Waiter, who's not agreed to be on my video, so I'll stop showing him now. But you see how this looks? Okay. This is my YouTube, right? My app. I just changed my password an hour ago. I'm going to change my password. So you can see the stalker has just been logged out by me. Okay, so I just changed my password. So you can see that the other device was just signed out by me changing my password. And that I keep my stuff on here, right? So let's look at my Chrome now. Hopefully it'll be the same. But this could all change again, y'all. My own channel, it's so funny. So you can see it looks a little different. It's a little box here. A little weirder. It doesn't really make sense to me why it would be different, but it seems different, doesn't it? There. A little better. A little bit more things on the left-hand side than there were before. It's very difficult. Let's see if I still have the quick step thing on my device. Christian put the quick step thing on my device. I don't know why he did that. It's very strange. He probably has it on his device and gives it to everyone. But remember, I had to turn over my phone when I was working here. And then my brother cloned my phone and was controlling it. And now this guy has my phone. And every single number I've had since the number I had when I lived next door to that guy has been taken over by these same people, these same three men, controlling men. I don't want this on my phone. It's the home app. He installed it as a home app. And I believe it's possible that it might be the source of my troubles. I would like to uninstall it, but I don't seem to be able to do that. I didn't ask him to put it on here. This copperish kind of red, but it doesn't always come through. After a few washes, the other red will be back. You can tell right here, it's a little brassy, and it's a little bit kind of, my hair when I was little is a little tiny oranger than this, like more orangey red, and this is more like, I don't know what to call it, but we'll see. It's fine. As long as it's red, it's okay, because then it matches everything else about my face. But it's just so funny. Anyway, I had a good night, and I'm going to get started on my day and start like getting changed and getting fixed up and all, put on makeup and things. This is no makeup right now. No makeup, no icky stuff, nothing like that. For years with people telling me I was ugly and coworkers making fun of how I looked, and they were nice people too. I mean, I want you to know that, you know, teaching wasn't entirely bad. But I did have these parents following me home, following me around, blaming me for their children and stuff like that. And that's not, I mean, I was a good teacher. A lot of my kids turned out really great. And including my own. And I don't really take pride in that because they did most of that work, but I still, you know, did the same as I did for all the other ones. which is so funny. But y'all, life is very interesting. And it's good to know that some occupations aren't as safe as they ought to be. Like sometimes they should be safer. And here's Norbert. Actually, for my mom, because a long time ago, before the ransacking started, and in fact, I think that's why he might have moved up here. Maybe. Because I got a bunk bed. Because the nursing homes here in Nacogdoches are fantastic. I don't know if anyone's ever told you that. But they are. They're amazing. So I got a bunk bed that comes apart and is 2 equal beds, like Madeline type beds. So I was going to have my mom come up here. Well, that's when they started it was also the money though that made them furious, because see, the neighbor that moved in next door to me had to give his house to his parents. This guy that's walking around and has my phone and everything, he moved in with his family because he couldn't afford his house payments after his divorce. And so then and he did fine. I don't know that he's a cop. I think he's kind of emotionally disturbed no matter what he does for a living, but he, or she, I guess, I'm not sure. But anyway, and he moved in with his family because he couldn't afford his house. And maybe they weren't, and then he bought a house nearby later because his family has money. So maybe that's part of his resentment, I don't know, was when they sold their house for so much money out. I was happy for them though. They're sweet people. Of the attack that I think I'm just going to kind of do a slideshow of and not really show you, because this guy wants to be in my videos. And if he can't be in my videos from walking by or knocking on my door or taking my phone or getting my storage or stealing my stuff or giving me a snap card that's no good, then he tries, which is illegal, be in my content by actually attacking me and hurting me and knocking on my door and coming in and stuff. And the police don't seem to want to do anything about him, which is funny. He might not have documentation. And that's why he's allowed to drive around a police car and give people tickets and stuff. When he came to see me the last time at Chick-fil-A, like I was telling you, I don't know if I've posted that video yet, but he showed up at Chick-fil-A in 2017, and he was sobbing because it was the day that this police employee had been buried at a funeral and everything. The one that was killed in Bastrop. And then, anyway, he showed up behind. It doesn't make sense because he has emotional disturbance. So it's not that he's, attracted to me or anything. I seem to be kind of like some sort of perpetual, he needs to victimize someone, and he victimizes me over and over again. So, he showed up behind me crying, and I walked past him and ignored him because I was on foot. I didn't have a car. And I kept walking to Chick-fil-A. And when I got to Chick-fil-A, he tapped me on the shoulder, and I turned around and he was sobbing. He was nonverbal, not able to answer.
He was dressed in a faded surplus dress blues police
because it was
uniform.
4:30 in the afternoon on a weekday. It was full of people. But he was obviously trying to tag
He was
me
also armed
for something, which I don't know what the hell. So then I left, and I kept an eye out for him. But I grew up in those neighborhoods, and so I know my way around. I just went, to a different place instead of my home, and then I went home. He saw me there. He was like, you need to leave, get out. You need to just go. And I was living happily at my house with my brother, but I wasn't happy with him because he had attacked me. That's a whole other story. He's emotionally disturbed too. But I was living happily, spending time with my mom and looking forward to kind of settling around that city, right? So I think the reason he showed up here in 2018 or so was because my kids had graduated high school, college. They both got bachelors. One of them got a bachelor's degree in 2018 in music education, and one of them got a bachelor's in law enforcement. So in Texas State for that one. So in 2019. So he showed up after those guys, and he he was just obsessed with me. He started ransacking my house. I said I wanted my mom to come up here and visit. And visit. She'd love it here. She likes everything Nacogdoches has to offer. She would have loved to sit outside in the sunshine. And he came up here and he started tearing the place apart because he's kind of a pawn of my brother's, and my brother didn't want my mom to spend time with me because my brother's also emotionally disturbed. And one feature of emotional disturbance in some people is that they latch onto women. I don't know if you've seen that in crime, but you can see it in crime if you look. That a lot of times these people that are doing these things aren't doing them because they want to have a romantic attachment with the person. They're doing it because they have some other female need in their hearts for a person. They want them to be their mother or their sister or their grandmother or their friend or whatever. They want some sort of female connection. So funny. Talking about how he looks or how he dresses or who he feels like he is inside himself or what he does for a living or anything like that. I'm saying it's evident that he does that because this right here is my daughter's comforter, right? And when I purchased it, this guy that was my neighbor, when I bought two of them, because were sharing a room at that time. We had 4 bedrooms. One was my room, one was a computer room, one was the kids' room, and one was was like a playroom. So before they split their rooms up, we were going to, they had matching beds. So they had matching comforters, matching sheets and everything. And he had that on he bought those for his daughter. Or maybe he was even sleeping on them himself. I don't know. Crinkle up. I try not to crinkle up, but crinkle up because of that. Just I was occupationally doing a job, and it could have been any of us, And they deliberately weaponized themselves and tried to get reasons to be upset with me, and it was really strange. And it's weaponizing their emotionally unhealthy children to keep them busy, I guess. It's really sad. And that's just all I've figured out so far. So some of that might need editing later. But as far as I can tell, it's these parents that have these emotionally disturbed children who are emotionally disturbed also, who weaponize themselves against a thing that didn't happen to go after someone for something by following them home, ransacking their house, trying to take over, being a landlord, being a storage, getting in their storage, taking over their cars, getting their cell phones. It's crazy. I've never been questioned or hurt or done anything to anyone that's deserved any kind of consequence whatsoever, except in the emotionally disturbed mind. They've even attacked my daughters, like my own daughters. So, you letting me build my viewership while we're getting together the podcast episodes. Thanks.